Hello, stock strategists, crypto connoisseurs. It's Stock Picks by Tim back at you, and I want to talk about Cleanspark real quick. I'm actually going to just roll a clip here. It's Zach Bradford, the CEO of Cleanspark, at the DMC Digital Mining Conference through Bitmain, and he's going to just talk about Cleanspark, talk about ESG, environmental, social, and governance. And if you guys want to watch the whole video, it's like a 7-hour video. I'll leave a link below in the description, as well as links to webull, Coinbase, and BlockFi if you haven't gotten there yet. And but yeah, it's at the 4-hour mark that he starts speaking. But I will leave the link if you guys are interested in watching the whole thing. There's a lot of intermissions, so it's not a whole 7-hour video. But I took about 10 minutes out of it where Zach Bradford spoke. But before anything else, let's get into the video.
I'm happy to share a little bit about Cleanspark and our philosophy on mining, and today I'm going to focus on CleanBlock, which is one of our subsidiaries, and it is the entity that manages our mining. Now, CleanBlock as an entity has been mining for just under a year, which makes us a relatively new company in the Bitcoin mining space. Now, that comes with its own risks, rewards, and challenges. Now, I want to address some of those head on in my discussion today. Now, I like to think of CleanBlock as a new kid on the block, but a lot of people may think of us as the last kid on the bus right before the Bitcoin run. Now, that's not such a bad thing. If you've ever been the last kid on the bus, you know what I'm talking about. When you get on, you see the whole bus, you see where people are seated, the clicks, the opportunities, and the challenges. You might not get to choose any seat on the bus, but you understand the layout of the bus maybe better than anybody else. And that has allowed us to think differently about how we view Bitcoin mining. We believe that view that we have is a difference that matters, and I want to share some of our view with you today. First, let me tell you a little bit about us. Cleanspark has been a public company since 2014, and I'm one of the original co-founders. We've done a lot over the years to try and bring value to our shareholders. And we've spent the last several years actually focused on clean energy, specifically energy optimization, by using software, including working on some data centers and also some Bitcoin mining facilities. And as all of us here today understand, Bitcoin mining, what it's really all about, is transitioning the value of the energy that we use into the Bitcoin we mine. Now, if it were only that easy, and that's where we rely on the expertise and experience of our world-class mining team. Bernardo Schuchman, who I know many of you know because he's been at this a while, he's our Senior Vice President of Data Center Operations. He's been mining Bitcoin since 2013, and he actually has overseen the mining of over 52,000 Bitcoin in his career. We acquired his company this last December, and that began our journey into Bitcoin mining. Or in other words, we feel like we picked the right person to sit next to on the bus. Now, we started our journey with just a few thousand S17s producing about 190 petahash. In just a short few months, we've grown fast, we've added miners, and we've since experienced over 5 times growth. In addition, we're now mining out of 3 locations. 2 locations which we own and operate ourselves, and we also mine out of a co-location facility. Now, growth is one thing, but sustainable and conscientious growth is another. And from the start, we were determined to do it right. CleanBlock is dedicated to being America's sustainable Bitcoin miner. And by that, I don't mean we're just environmentally friendly. Well, certainly important, and it's been discussed today a lot. The E in ESG is not our only focus in sustainable practices. The social and governance components matter. And we believe that we as members of the Bitcoin community can always strive to do better. Now, I'm going to get to that in a minute, but I want to tell you about a value creation philosophy that we have, because I think it can be applied broadly across any Bitcoin miner. Now, we all mine Bitcoin because we believe in the value it creates, and also in the blockchain. Now, we believe it also matters, though, how we mine. It matters to our shareholders and to the neighborhoods and communities that we operate in. This photo is one of our facilities being built near Atlanta, Georgia. Now with this facility and every facility that we build or renovate, we take a tools, teams, and ideas approach. And again, this is an approach we think that any Bitcoin miner can adopt. Now tools, what do we mean by that? Now, we, like all miners, rely on energy infrastructure and energy sources as our main tools. Now, we believe we have a responsibility to use the cleanest sources available. We also believe in improving the infrastructure around us, which is really the E in ESG. Now, teams. Our teams consist of employees and partners in the communities we mine in. We believe we do need to be partners in the community and also partners with the employees, which is really part of the S. Now, the ideas. Now, we believe strongly in the role that decentralized currencies have for building a new economy. And we want to spread the knowledge with those around us, including the value that Bitcoin can have for society at large. And that's going to take both the social and governance portions of ESG. Now, ESG can either just be a phrase, it can be thrown around, it can be used a lot, or it can mean a lot more. And our tools, teams, and ideas map directly into our ESG strategy. In sum, we believe that being an ESG-focused miner means giving back to the community. It means making the communities we mine better while creating value for our stakeholders and shareholders. Now, we at CleanBlock believe in sustainable, responsible mining. As stated earlier, energy infrastructure and energy sources are tools we use to be good environmental stewards. We are currently using an approach that results in approximately 91% carbon neutral power to support our mining. We're on a path to 100% carbon free. Now, we acknowledge there's many ways to get to carbon neutrality, and it's going to be different for all of us. It's going to depend on the locations we mine in, the geographic areas we have. And so for us, we're taking an approach of first focusing on the direct power sources, finding geographic locations that already support the carbon-free power. Secondly, we add renewables on site to support generation in the facilities. And lastly, we invest in additional renewables that are off-site and/or purchasing renewable energy credits. We also, as part of our company, are an energy company. Again, that's where we got our roots, and we believe we can also give back by working with other miners to help offset their needs and create renewables on site where possible. On the social side, our employees and partners in the community we operate in are members of our socially responsible team. We all as miners invest in the improvement of the infrastructure around us. Our investments, everybody in this room, have supported upgrading substations, power lines, and other things that will be used by the communities around us, not just our facilities. Now that puts the utilities in a position that when there's a time of need, a natural disaster or an emergency, they can send that power to the rest of the community and we can come offline. And that's a benefit I don't think that we share enough with the utilities directly, and that's been spoken also about today. Now, at CleanBlock, we also believe that our employees should be afforded the opportunity to participate in the value they help create. Now, we do this as a public company by giving them equity in the company and that they're able to earn over time. Now, we also focus on some of the areas we go to in being in underserved communities. We have a goal of paying wages and bringing jobs to areas where they've been lost and to paying wages higher than average. And of course, we work to educate those around us on Bitcoin and the benefits it has. Now, governance. Really, again, to our ideas. That comes down to how we make decisions, how we govern ourselves, and that matters as an industry. The G is often forgotten, but it's also one of the most important. I've said this before at a similar event. If we don't self-govern, we will be governed. Now at Cleanspark, we are preparing for that reality by being environmentally and socially responsible. How we all act matters. So why do we think this is so important? Outsiders from outside the industry They often attack us about the energy. Now, they say we have a gold mining attitude. And just like the gold rush of years ago, we have to ask ourselves, are we building tomorrow's ghost towns or tomorrow's thriving cities? We truly believe that Bitcoin can be a platform for a better future. Like many of you here today, we believe we can operate in a manner that will lead to a better tomorrow. But that's going to take a responsibility. It's going to take a focus on all aspects of ESG. Now, what I wanted to talk about is why that's important and how it drives value. If we can self-govern and we can be responsible in our communities, it removes a lot of the fear. That should lead to a higher adoption of Bitcoin. It will also lead to less regulation and other benefits. Now, all of us in this room know that with higher adoption and less regulation, that's going to contribute directly to our businesses. So each of us, as miners, have more valuable entities. But also, it will lead to higher Bitcoin values. And again, this should create a compound effect that will benefit all of us in this room. So to conclude, I want to emphasize that we at CleanBlock are committed to the Bitcoin mining industry, to our peers and the colleagues, and the opportunities that we see here. We have the tools, teams, and ideas to be successful at it. You might think of us as the last kid on the bus, but we own that. It's given us a perspective to see the empty seats, the missing pieces, and the areas for growth and improvement. And with that information, we are taking a seat that matters, and we look forward to riding with all of you on this journey. Thank you.
All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. It's just a quick little clip here. I'm definitely very bullish on Cleanspark. It was nice to see this event go on. So it was the 9th of September that this happened, just a few days ago, and I haven't seen like very much of any coverage. If you look on the video, it's only got a couple thousand views, so I feel like everyone's sleeping on this. Definitely something to watch, and go ahead and watch the whole video. There's a lot of other Bitcoin miners that talk, but I mainly just wanted to focus on Cleanspark. But thanks again, guys, and I will see you next time.